Alright guys, today I want to talk about some awesome new games you probably didn't know were coming. It took me a little bit of time to find some of them, as they're mostly indie games made by smaller companies, but I promise they're worth your time. Like I say a lot, indie games is where the heart is, mostly. There's still some AAA companies left that are amazing, but the numbers are going down every year. Let's get right into it with the first one. Russia 2055. This upcoming futuristic FPS game is one of the first and real photorealistic project out there, which has the real weight and movement of a soldier, and also its first-person view being something like a GoPro on his head. I've honestly never seen something like this ever. It is really unique and has even gotten the attention of Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding. The fact it is also made by one person is really surprising, considering how crazy good it looks. There's gonna be a campaign and a 64 players multiplayer. It's not gonna have the longest story or even a super varied multiplayer, just the essential as you'd expect from a one-person team. In the year 2055, US forces and Russian military conflict halts as they defend Earth from the first alien invasion that first started in Russia. Its multiplayer will consist of mech versus mech, Russian versus US military, and aliens versus US or Russians. Next up, we have Scavengers. Scavengers is a survival shooter co-opetition game from Midwinter Entertainment, which was founded by the creative director of the latest Halo games. It places you in a team of online players or friends against other online players, which can go up to the hundreds in one match, and many dangerous enemies and environments you'll have to face. You start the match in a drop pod from space, then land on the now post-apocalyptic Earth. Our moon has been shattered, thus it triggered a new ice age. Players in this world will have to compete to fulfill emergent objectives that change the nature of their gameplay experience. Not only are there different kind of bases and places to capture, and both human and AI opponents to battle, but sometimes bosses will spawn, which will need cross-team cooperation to overcome. Enemies become friends, then enemies again, you decide. Priorities will always shift. Each round of Scavenger is session-based, taking around 30 to 45 minutes from insertion to extraction. Players form into teams, ranging from large clans of 20 to 30 players if you join one during the game, or to smaller groups of 2 to 4 players, your original team. Given its survival background, players must not only keep their characters safe from combat, but also warm, well-fed and hydrated, so you'll need to search for that in the open world. Next up, we have Mr. Prepper. I've kept an eye on this one for a long time now, and it's been doing super well recently, with tons of new updates released and the developers confirming we're getting close to release. Mr. Prepper is the guy who lives in a country which once was the land of freedom, but step by step its government changed everything. If you don't obey, you disappear. Be as they want you to be or be gone. Our hero decided to oppose to get out of this delusion of life. The only way for him to hide his plans and his doings is to build an underground shelter, construct a machine that helps him change this situation. But he will need materials that are so rare in this world. As you craft your underground world away from the outside, things like farms, greenhouses, vehicles, and etc., you'll also need to beware of the secret police, who comes at your home from time to time. They don't want you to be special or to be different. Next up, we have Kurzon Line. This one's gonna be a little bit quick, as there is no trailer or gameplay out at the moment, but it does look super promising. Kurzon Line is an horror open-world, story-driven first-person shooter, depicting the events unfolding in the immediate aftermath of nuclear war between the Russian Federation and the United Nations. Assuming the role of a NATO response force operator, you'll be deployed into the heart of a conflict zone and cut off from your command center. You'll be presented with a rich blend of quest-driven RPG gameplay, survival horror elements, and military simulator realism in the post-apocalyptic ruins of Poland, in a dark, atmospheric world where survival is a struggle day and night. Your mission through the hostile zone will expose you to extreme weather conditions, deadly nuclear fallout, and bring you face to face with desperate, starving survivors and wildlife. Next up we have 83. This one is from the creators of Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, so it pretty much confirms it'll be at least a little bit good. 83 is a Cold War first-person military shooter for high player counts, at least 80 players, currently in development at Antimatter Games. The game pits two large platoons of players against each other in massive maps, fighting over a number of objectives that have a tangible impact on the battle as a whole, when held by the victorious faction. Players will have access to a selection of real-world infantry weapons and equipment, as well as a selection of powerful land and air vehicles, which can decisively turn the tide of a battle. 83's weapons are all authentic to their real-world counterparts. They will all feel realistic. Finally, we have Project A. Project A is a precise tactical shooter and is the first shooter ever made by Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends. Finally, the S in Riot Games actually means something now. They've been working on other games with Project A, but I wanted to show this one as it looks the most promising. It's like if Counter-Strike met Overwatch and looks really cool. I'm not much into Magic games, but this one adds a twist and I'm all up for it. Project A will have a lethal cast of characters set on a near future Earth. Plenty of abilities, creating unique opportunities for your gunplay to shine. This looks definitely promising. Let me know in the comments which game in this video are you most looking forward. For myself, I had to say Russia 2055 and Project A. Also make sure to support this video by liking it and subscribe. Thanks for watching.